After the successful completion of the 8 chapters, let me start with the strategies for enhancement in food production. Strategies for enhancement in food production, that is in the second PUC 9th chapter. So it has been estimated that 70% of livestock comes from only India and China, but the productivity is only 25%, which is really a disaster. So there are certain techniques which play a pivotal role in improving or the enhancement of food production. There are certain techniques, a professional approach and all those things. So the branch of the science which deals with the study of the animals or the cattle for milk and its products known as dairy. So highest milching cow is Jersey and Holstein Friesian. And similarly, so branch which deals with the study of the rearing of birds for meat and eggs called poultry. The highest egg laying is the white leg horn. So apart from this, there are certain techniques which enhance the food production, that is the inbreeding and outbreeding. So coming to the inbreeding, here a superior male and superior female of the same breed. For example, in cow what happens, so the superior male which is known for producing a good progeny, and superior female in cows known for giving high quantity of large quantities of milk. So of the same breed, when crossed together, we can obtain the breed, that is that breed or hybrid which is produced because of inbreeding. So here the mating between two selected superior males and superior females to produce the hybrid. But inbreeding, continuous inbreeding, this results in inbreeding depression, homozygosity. So as a result, there will not be fertility at all, and a single outcrossing can overcome this inbreeding depression. And very important thing is, inbreeding depression also exposes the lethal genes or recessive genes will be exposed in inbreeding. And coming to the outbreeding, it is the cross between the same breed or the other the outbreed, that is other than the same breed, that is the cross between unrelated animals. There are two types of this outbreeding. That is, number one, outbreeding. So same within the same breed, but having no common ancestors. The cross between such animals is called outbreeding, outcrossing. One method, that is in outbreeding, outcrossing. Another one is cross breeding. Here the two different breeds having no common ancestors are crossed. So for example, the Hizardale is the sheep of Punjab, can be obtained by crossing the two different breeds, that is the Marina Rams and Bicanary Eames. Adikon code word we can use Mr. B, Marina Rams and Bicanary Eames. Hizardale is the sheep of Punjab. And next to this, the interspecific hybridization. It is completely two different cross between two different species. Male donkey and female horse can be crossed to get the mule. This is an example for interspecific hybridization. And artificial insemination and moit is an important thing that we use here in this technique, that is moit, multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. Instead of one egg being produced in animals, we can make them to lay more number of eggs, 6 to 8 eggs. That is called multiple ovulation. And the embryo formed, that is at this stage of about 8 to 32 celled stage, it can be transferred to surrogate mother also. So that is multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. This results in the good number of breeds, as well as more number of breeds, as well as the of high quality, superior quality. So apiculture, culturing of honeybees, Apis indica is called apiculture. So we know very well the apiculture, culturing of honeybees, and beeswax is used for cosmetics and then pills, ointments, polishes, etc. Beeswax. And honey is used in syrups, etc. Syrups, etc. And this apiculture, the important thing is honeybees are the very good pollinating insects. So that yield will be increased more in case of when we place some beehives near the crops like sunflower, etc. It increases the yield. That is very, very important. So in this, the apiculture, some important things that one should have the knowledge of the honeybees, and one should find out a specific location for the beehives, specific location that is very near to the traps, etc. And then marketing and all those things, and collection of honeybees called swarms. So this definitely very good pollinators and increase the yield. That is about the apiculture. Coming to the pisciculture or aquaculture, so culturing of all aquatic animals called the aquaculture. Aquaculture is also known as blue revolution. Blue revolution. Shellfish and oysters, prawns, lobsters are the other organisms which can be cultured, That is called the aquaculture. Aquaculture, it involves both the pisciculture also, and this pisciculture gives the culturing of the fishes in particular. That is the difference between aquaculture. All most aquatic organisms, that includes crabs, prawns, lobsters, as I told you earlier. Whereas the pisciculture, it is confined to only the culturing of the fishes. So Katla and Rohu are the very good freshwater fishes which are edible. And coming to the marine fishes which are edible and used are hilsa, mackerel, sardine and pomfret. Are the marine water fishes which are edible. And apart from this, coming to the plant breeding, a professional approach to the plant breeding definitely play an important role in enhancement of food production. So this plant breeding, it involves certain steps. Number one is the collection of variability, that is the collection of germplasm having superior qualities, and evaluation of the selection of parents, and conducting cross hybridization, which involves, as we learned in the previous chapters, the emasculation, bagging, rebagging, dusting, sowing, all these things. That is cross hybridization. And then the next step is testing for the superior recombinants, superior recombinants, and then testing and the release of commercial cultivars are the various steps involved in the plant breeding. And we know very well, agriculture, it accelerates the green revolution. 33% of GDP of India is enhanced by, or depends upon only the agriculture, and it is the agriculture which provides occupation to the 62% of the population. From 1960 to 2000 about in India, so the wheat production enhanced from 11 million tons to 75 million tons, whereas in case of rice it has been enhanced from 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons. These are the very important things not given so far in the NEET. So these are the things which are very important for the NEET. And the father of green revolution of India, Swaminathan, but of the world, Norman Borlaug, as he produced a Mexican dwarf wheat variety of the good quality and high yielding wheat variety, a Mexican dwarf wheat variety produced by the Norman Borlaug, father of green revolution. And in 1963, this years also very important for the NEET, and India produces two kinds of wheat, that is Sonalika and Kalyan Sonam. And IR8 is the rice variety produced by IRRI, International Rice Research Institution, which is located at Philippines and Taichung native. This where located also, that is also given. So be careful and study each and every sentence. That is very important. And then the diseases resistant varieties should be produced in the plant breeding. So the plants are affected with various diseases and pathogens, and to avoid this, in India, wheat disease resistant, one called Himagiri, it is the resistant crop to the rust disease. And coming to the Brassica also, that is called Pusa swarnim, a disease resistant variety. It is also against the rust disease. And coming to the cauliflower, the disease resistant varieties in cauliflower are the Pusa shubra and Pusa snowball, and these are the disease resistant to black rot disease. This is very important. And then coming to the cowpea, it is Pusa comal, which is also the disease resistant for leaf curl. So these disease resistant are already asked, but to which disease not asked so far. Hence these are the things which are very important. And chilies called Pusa Sadabahar, which is disease resistant to the mosaic virus. So this is about the disease resistant varieties. And coming to the because of mutation, some disease resistant varieties, for example, because of mutation, mung is produced, which is very good disease resistant to yellow mosaic virus. And the disease resistant to, similarly again, yellow mosaic virus, Abelmascus esculentum. For this Abelmascus esculentum, Parabani Kranti is the disease resistant variety against yellow mosaic virus. And sometimes the hairy leaves in cotton prevents jacids, and the leaf beetles can also be prevented in case of the wheat. And solid stems in wheat prevents soft lice. These are the things not given so far, so be careful. And nectarless in cotton prevents bollworms. And high aspartic acid, low nitrogen, it is given in CET, high aspartic acid and low nitrogen in maize prevents stem borers. There are other aspects which are very important. There the pest resistant crops are cultivated. For example, in the case of brassica, there is a variety called the Pusa Gaurav. It is used against aphids, that is resistant to the aphids. And there is one more variety called French bean, which is pest resistant variety against the jassids as well as the aphids. And the bindi, the disease resistant plants, the pest resistant plants are the Pusa Savani and Pusa A4. And the disease, the pest resistant for the previous one, that is French bean, is Pusa Sem2 and Pusa Sem3 are the disease resistant varieties, where pest resistant varieties against the pest jassids as well as aphids, whereas the bindi, the pest resistant varieties are Pusa Savani and Pusa A4. They resist against the certain pests again the stem and fruit borers. So this is about the disease resistant varieties and pest resistant varieties in crops, very important. And enrichment of proteins, oils, vitamins, minerals in plants, called that branch is called biofortification. In 2000 maize plants, the amino acids such as lysine and tryptophan enriched. In wheat Atlas 66, a wheat variety called Atlas 66, there also proteins are enriched. Vitamin A enriched in the spinach and then the carrot, spinach, pumpkin, A enriched, and C enriched in batua and mustard. Now, in case of batua spinach, iron and calcium also enriched, and vitamin C enriched in the batua, mustard, pumpkin again. So these are all the various things called biofortification, involved in the biofortification. Coming to the animals, they are not asked so far. So if the animals they consume about 3 to 10 kgs of grains, that produces 1 kg of meat, it has been estimated. In the world, the human population, 25% people suffer from hungerness. That is also hungry. That is very important. And 250 kgs of cow can produce only 200 grams of protein. It has been estimated. Whereas the 250 grams of methane producing methanotropes bacteria, that produces only the 25 grams of protein. These are the things not asked so far. So be ready for all these things. Finally, it is the tissue culture. Tissue culture is the culturing of the entire plant from the single cell called totipotent cell. The cell which has capacity to develop into the entire plant is called totipotent cell. The purest form is meristematic culture used in so many crops. Meristematic culture is this purest one, and the culturing media should be sterilized, and certain hormones, plant hormones which can induce the shoot and root development should be applied for the tissue culture, that is the explant, the part which we use, and it produces many thousands of small crops, plants, saplings called micropropagation. Micropropagation, that is also very important. And they are called soma clones because genetically, morphologically they are similar to the parent tissue of the plants, hence they are called soma clones. And there is one more method which is very important, that is the somatic hybridization. By combining the protoplasm, by mixing the protoplasm of the two different plants, like for example tomato and potato, by combining these two, potato can be raised. Thus, this is called somatic hybridization. Thus, the tissue culture plays a pivot role in enhancing the food production, which is very important. And one thing forgotten is SCP, single cell protein. Spirulina is a single cell protein which is highly nutritious. These are all the various methods which play an important role, and this is a professional approach. These are some of the professional approaches which stood for the enhancement of food production in the plants. So with this I have completed the 9th chapter. Also the 10th chapter is very easy, that is biology in human welfare. Let me take up the next chapter. Please subscribe, don't forget, and given almost all information, elaborate information, study the names and terms, give importance to all these things. All the best. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe for the complete chapter.